today's video, we are going to be playing the best deck in Modern. While many people think this is Blue-Red Murktide or Creativity, I believe it is this deck. The reason that Mono-Red Midrange is the best deck in the format is because of two reasons: Blood Moon and the amount of card selection in red. The reason that Blood Moon is so powerful is that 3 mana win the game against many decks, like Creativity, Hammer, and Amulet Titan. And with this in addition to Seasoned Pyromancer and Fable the Mirror Breaker, we can turn through the deck and act as a control deck, a mid-range deck, or an aggro deck because of these two cards. And this is because they find your key cards in certain matchups. And with the deck filled with removal spells, you need to be able to loot them away in bad matchups. Another great perk of being mono red is our lands. We get to play 9 lands that are essentially spells, like Blast Zone, Den of the Bugbear, Ramanop Ruins, and Sokinzan, Crucible of Defiance. We're going to be taking this deck and showing why you should be playing it as well. That's when we're on the play, and we're going to mull our 7. Ooh, our 6 is rough as well. We're down to 5. And our 6 is respectable. We'll keep putting back Blast Zone and Fury. Go turn 1 Mountain, holding up Spike Field. Opponent goes tap Triumph, we'll go tap Spike Field Hazard. I don't play to Misty, we'll go Ramanop Ruins into a Seasoned Pyromancer, discarding a Hazard and a Ruins, drawing Blood Moon and Mountain. Opponent plays an Island, we top deck a Relic. We attack in for 3, they're down to 16, and then we'll slam Blood Moon. Then we'll go Blast Zone into a Relic. Opponent goes Genstone Mine into a Suspended Glimpse. We draw a Spike Field Hazard for turn, we pick up Obosh, play our Mountain, and attack in for 3. They're down to 13, we'll pop our Relic, find another land, and passing. Opponent plays a Mountain into a Terror of the Peaks. Ooh, we top deck a Fury. We casted our Fury, killing the Terror, and attack in for 3. And opponent's down to 10. Opponent cycles Aspara's Headquarters. They do nothing else, we'll slam our Obosh and go for lethal. And surprisingly, opponent does nothing, they're dead. Let's get on to sideboarding. We're going to take out 4 Relics, a Bone Crusher Giant, and a Blood Moon for 2 Maguses, the Stone Brain, and Chalice. Game 2, our hand's a little slow, but Stone Brain's great. Opponent plays turn 1 Triumph, we top deck a Bolt, playing Mountain, passing. Opponent plays a Genstone Mine, we top deck a Ramanop Ruins, we play that for turn, and cast out our Stone Brain. Opponent plays a Mine into a Shardless Agent, finding Omnath in 3 lands, and they have another Cascade spell. This finds an Atali, wow, this is really cool. And they get to cast our Stone Brain for free, and they get an Emrakul. Oh my goodness. All right, we're dead, but that was sweet. Let's get on to game 3. Game 3, you're going to keep a risky hand, but it's definitely good. We go turn 1 Sokinzan into a Ragavan. Opponent goes turn 1 Triumph. We draw a Mountain for turn, attacking in. Exile land off Ragavan. We play our Mountain into a Stone Brain. Opponent plays a Gemstone Mine and panels out Boseiju, killing our Stone Brain. We'll pick up a Mountain. We draw another Stone Brain, attacking for 2, triggering Ragavan. We exile an Omnath. Then we'll cast a Stone Brain and activate it, aiming Glimpse of Tomorrow. And this is what their deck looks like. They play a Triumph passing. We top deck a Fable. We attack in for 2, exile and land, and then we'll play out a Fable post-combat. Opponent plays Misty. We find a Ramanop Ruins. We'll discard Ramanop Ruins and a Stone Brain with Fable, finding land and Spikefield Hazard, attacking in for 4. And we exile Invasion of Alara, and we're actually going to cast this here. This is probably wrong, but let's do it. And we hit a Seasoned Pyromancer and a Spikefield Hazard, so we will cast the Spyro for free, discarding 2 hazards. Then we'll play our tapped land. Opponent does nothing. We top deck a Shinka, and we're going to attack this invasion. This might be wrong, but it feels so right. So damage happens. We get to flip this invasion and trigger Ragavan. We cast Awaken the Maelstrom, destroying their land, drawing 2, popping our Seasoned Pyromancer. This is just so sweet. Discarding 2 more cards, getting 2 more 1/1s, and we'll pass back. Opponent does nothing on their turn, and we'll just attack them for lethal here. And that's game. Let's get on to match number 2. Match 2, we're on the play, and hand looks fine. We got turn 1 Mountain into a Relic. Opponent plays a Swamp into an EE on 1. We draw a Spyro. We'll play a Ramanop Ruins. Opponent plays a Field, and on the end step, we'll pop our Relic, drawing a card. We find Relic and Blast Zone. We'll play our Blast Zone, and then play our Fable. And they push our 2/2. They play out a Urborg. We'll ruin our Ramanop Ruins, then cast out a Relic. We draw a Blast Zone for turn. We'll use Fable, loot away 2 lands, finding another Blast Zone and a Fury. We'll play out our Spyro, discarding Relic and a Blast Zone, getting a 1/1 and finding Blood Moon. Opponent plays another Field of Ruin, destroying our Blast Zone, getting a Swamp. They do nothing else, and we draw a Mountain for turn. We'll play out our Blood Moon, play a Mountain, and attack in for 3. Opponent pops their Relic, and then pushes our Fable. We draw a Blood Moon, we'll buy Obosh, play out our Mountain, and attack in for 3. Opponent goes Swamp into a Night's Whisper. When we top deck a Spyro, we attack in for 3, opponent's down to 9, and we'll pass back holding up Sokinzan. Opponent plays a Cabal Coffers into a Shadow of Doubt, then cast a Karn the Great Creator. On their end step, we'll use Sokinzan, making 2 1/1s. We draw a Mountain for turn, we'll cast out our Fury. We draw a Mountain for turn, we'll cast out our Obosh, attacking all at the opponent. They're down to 2, and then we'll evoke out Fury, exiling our Blood Moon, killing their Karn. Opponent plays a Coffers into a Damnation. We draw a Hazard for turn, we will fire that off on them, putting them to 1, and then cast out our Spyro, which finds this Ragavan and Spyro, and we'll dash out the Ragavan to try and kill the opponent. Oops, forgot about the EE. That's okay. Opponent plays a Swamp into a Wormcoil. We top deck a Fury. We'll play out our Spyro, discarding it, trying to find a damage spell to kill them, and we find Ragavan in the land. And we just play out Shinka passing. Opponent plays a 3rd Coffers, attacks in for 6. We're down to 14, they're up to 7. End step, we make 2 more 1/1s with the Spyro, and still in their end step, they cast a March of Russian Sorrow for X's 8, and an Elemental token, going up to 15. We find a Bolt, we'll dash out Ragavan, attack in with the team. It's down to 7, and we exile land. Opponent attacks us for 6, they're up to 13, we're down to 8. Then cast an EE on 1. We find find a Fable, we cast it out, attacking with Spyro and 2 1/1s, putting an opponent down to 9. Opponent attacks in again, we'll block with Spyro and bolt it, denying them the life gain. They play out a Demolition Field and we'll exile our Spyro, making 2 more 1/1s. Draw another land for turn, we will discard Ragavan and Mountain to Fable, finding double Bone Crusher. We'll attack in with the team, and opponent's down to 1. Did we actually win this game? And we stomp the opponent, killing them. Wow, holy. Let's get on to sideboarding. We'll take out 4 Relic for 2 Magus and 2 Shattering Spree. Game 2, this 7's close, but we're going to end up mulling. And our 6 is worse, we're down to 5. And we'll keep this. Putting back land and a Bone Crusher. Opponent goes turn 1 Swamp Relic. We find a mountain, we'll play that into a Ragavan. Opponent plays a field, we top deck a hazard, we'll attack in for 2. And they push our Ragavan before damage. Then we'll play a tapped Spikefield Hazard. Opponent goes Urborg into a Knight's Whisper. We draw a Blast Zone, playing it for turn, buying our Obosh. Opponent plays Swamp and slams a Karn. Down ticking, finding a Worm Coil. We find a Slash, we'll bolt down the Karn, and then play a Bone Crusher. Oh, an opponent has an Invoked Despair. Yeah, we'll concede at that point. Let's get on to game 3. Game 3, we're taking out Flame Slashes and Relics for Pyrite Spellbomb, Shattering Spree, and Magus. Game 3, our starter's great. We'll go turn 1 Ramanop into a Ragavan. Opponent plays Swamp, we top deck Mountain, and we'll attack in. Another push. So we'll play out a Relic, and then go tap Cave. Opponent plays Swamp, we find a Blood Moon, we'll slam that onto the battlefield. Opponent plays out a Mountain, we top deck a Bolt, we'll play out Spellbomb into our Seasoned Pyromancer, discarding our Bolt, getting a 1/1, finding 2 lands, and on our instep they push a 1/1. Opponent plays a Mountain into a Karn, down ticking, finding a Worm Coil. We top deck a Fury, play that out, killing Karn, then we'll attack the opponent for 2. Opponent goes Castle Lockplane into Damnation. We draw a Blast Zone, we'll pop our Spellbomb, drawing into a Ragavan. We'll dash that out, exiling a Mark, play out Blast Zone, and buy our Obosh. Opponent casts a Knight's Whisper, then plays a Mountain into a Relic. They pop Relic, we draw a Spyro for turn. We'll play out our Obosh, play Mountain, then dash our Ragavan, dealing 4 to the opponent and exiling a push. Opponent kicks out a Bloodchief's Thirst, killing our Obosh into a Relic. Ooh, we top deck a Fable. We'll dash out our Ragavan, attack the opponent. Ooh, exiling Shieldred? I guess we're gonna play that one. We play out Shieldred, and then we'll slam a Fable, and they slam out a Worm Coil. We draw a Blood Moon, we'll use Fable, looting away Ragavan and Blood Moon, finding Shattering Spree and Fury. We attack in with our Shaman, they block with a Worm Coil, then we cast out Fury, killing the Worm Coil, and cast Shattering Spree, replicating it, killing both of their 3/3s. Opponent plays out a Karn, in response we'll pop our Relic, down ticks, finding Ensnaring Bridge, playing it out. Opponent plays out another Karn, down ticking, picking up a Cityscape Leveler. We draw a Spellbomb for turn. We'll copy our Fury, join their Karn, and attack in for 1 and play out our Spellbomb. Opponent falls down to 2 off Shieldred and then casts out a Cityscape Leveler, killing our Shieldred. We draw a Hazard. We'll deal 1 to the opponent. Use Fable to copy our Spyro. Going into Bolt and Bone Crushers, so we'll Bone Crusher Giant the opponent and activate Spellbomb, killing them. Let's get on to match number 3. Match 3, we're on the draw and hands fine. Opponent goes turn 1 Plains into a Sentinel. Ooh, we draw a Blood Moon. We'll play Mountain, passing. Opponent plays a Miria's Call and attacks in for 1. Draw Ramanop, play Mountain, holding up Bolt. Opponent plays a Mutavault into an Adeline. For combat, we'll bolt down the Sentinel. Draw another land for turn, we'll play that out, and cast our Spyro, discarding Blood Moon and Relic. And we do find a Fury, so we'll cast that, evoking it out, exiling our Hazard, killing the Adeline. Opponent plays a Clearing into a Champion, into an Extraction Specialist, getting back their Sentinel. Top deck a Bolt, we'll fire it off on the Champion, killing it, and attack in with Spyro and play out our land, using Stomp to kill their Extraction Specialist. Opponent plays Cavern on Human, then activates Mutavault into Athalia's Lieutenant, pumping the squad, and we take 3 down to 16. Ooh, we find a Bone Crusher, so we'll play our Bone Crusher from exile and hold up Stomp. Opponent activates Mutavault and casts out another Thalia's Lieutenant. Then they swing in with Mutavault, and we will trade with our Bone Crusher. Ooh, we draw a Fable for turn. We will just cast our Bone Crusher. Opponent plays a tapped Call into a Ranger Captain, picking up a Giant Killer. We top deck another Bone Crusher. We will stomp down Athalia's Lieutenant, giving the opponent a card, and then casting out our Fable. Opponent plays a Mutavault into Chop Down, killing our Bone Crusher. Flavor win! Oh my god, did they play out an Adeline? Alright, we're just dead at this point. Opponent has us. Let's get on to sideboarding. We're gonna take out 4 Relic for 3 Spellbomb and a Magus. Game 2, we're gonna hit the Muller 7, and our 6 is much more powerful. We'll put back Flame Slash and go turn 1 Ragavan. Opponent goes Call into turn 1 Sentinel. Ooh, we top deck a Bolt. We'll evoke out our Fury, exiling the Bolt and killing the Esper Sentinel. Oh my god, we just got Shining Shoaled. Oh no. So this kills our Ragavan, but we still get to kill their Sentinel. Then we'll play Sokenzan. Opponent goes Mutavault into Athalia. Ugh. Ooh, we top deck a Spellbomb. We'll play that out. Opponent goes Sentinel, attacks in for 2, and they miss a land drop as well. Another Blood Moon off the top. Opponent attacks in for 3, we'll take it, and on the end step we'll use Spellbomb to kill the Thalia. They have another Shining Shoal, dealing an extra 2 to us, so we're down to 13. Ooh, we top deck a Bolt. Opponent attacks in for 3, we're down to 10, and on the end step we will bolt the Thalia, and opponent gets to draw a card off of Esper Sentinel. Oh my god, we find a land, let's go! Blood Moon time. Opponent draws a card, but now they have all mountains. Opponent plays a Plains and attacks in for 1. They do nothing, we top deck a Spyro, we'll slam our Fable, Fable. Opponent draws another card off of Sentinel. Opponent casts a Coppercoat Vanguard, then evokes out a Solitude, exiling Adeline, killing our 2/2. Then they attack in, we're still at 9. We find Blast for turn. We'll use Fable to loot away Blast and Moon, finding 2 removal spells. We'll Flame Slash the Vanguard, then play out our Cave and cast our Seasoned Pyromancer. Opponent plays a Mountain into a Thalia's Lieutenant. We find a Blast Zone, we'll play that out and hold up Spikefield Hazard. Opponent casts a Champion of the Parish. In response, we'll Spikefield Hazard the Lieutenant, paying for Esper Sentinel. We draw a Bone Crusher for turn. We stomp down the Sentinel, and we'll copy our Spyro, drawing 2. We'll kill their champion and attack in for 4. And opponent scoops him up. Let's get into game 3. Game 3, we'll keep our 7. Top deck a Hazard, and opponent goes land nothing on turn 1. So we'll go Mountain into Ragavan. Opponent plays a Plains into a Thalia. We top deck a Spyro, and then we'll play out a Ramunap Ruins into a Spikefield Hazard, killing Thalia. We attack in with Rag, but they have a Shining Shoal, which will kill our Ragavan. Opponent plays a Gonjo into an Adeline. We draw a Blood Moon. We'll play Mountain and kill this Adeline with Bolt and Bone Crusher. Opponent plays out a Vanguard. So it's Blast Zone into Blood Moon time. Opponent plays out another Vanguard. Attacks in, we're down to 17. Ooh, we find a Ragavan. We'll dash that out and offer the trade. Oh, and they evoke out a Solitude, killing our Ragavan. Good trade for us. Then post-combat, cast out a Spyro, drawing 2. Opponent plays out a Thalia and no attack. Ooh, we top deck a Fable. We'll play that out and then play out our Din. An opponent attacks in with the team. We'll just double block. They Gonjo our 2/2, meaning we can only get trade with one of the Vanguards. We draw a Mountain. We'll loot that away with Fable, finding a Hazard. So we'll Hazard the Thalia, then bolt the Vanguard. Opponent does nothing. We find a Spell Bomb, cast out Bone Crusher, and then buy our Obosh. Opponent plays a Mountain. We draw a Fury. Play out our Obosh, then we'll copy our Bone Crusher and attack in for 16. With the writing on the wall, opponent scoops him up. Get on to match number 4. Match 4, we're on the draw, but hand looks great. Opponent goes Steam Vents into a Ragavan. Ooh, we top deck a Hazard. We'll go Din into a Flame Slash. Opponent plays a Misty, and we top deck a Sokenzan. We'll play a tapped Cave. Opponent casts an EI, exiling a Lightning Bolt. Plays an Islet and doesn't cast the Bolt. Ooh, we find a Blood Moon. It's risky, but it's so good though if it resolves, so we'll go for it. Oh, they had the Pierce. Ugh, that's okay. They go Island into a DRC. We find a Mountain. We'll Flame Slash the DRC, then play Mountain into buying Obosh. And on our end step, they crack their Islet. They dash out the Monk, exiling a land and getting a treasure. Ooh, we top deck Fable. We'll play that out, and it resolves, surprisingly. We'll play Sokenzan, holding up Bone Crusher and Bolt, and they heat our 2. Opponent dashes out the Monk, and we go for a Bone Crusher, which meets a Spell Pierce. They exile our Fury. Ooh, then cast out a 7/7 Murktide. Ooh, we were looking for a land there. So we'll loot away Fable, finding another Bolt. So we're just going to slam Obosh onto the table. Opponent plays out a Ledger Shredder into a Monkey, conniving away a Murktide Regent. They attack us for 7. We draw Sokenzan, flip our Reflection, lead on attacking with Obosh. An opponent takes it. Okay. And we'll just go for stealing the win here with double Bolt. They connive with the second. Wow, and we got there. All right, let's get into sideboarding. We'll take out 4 Blood Moon for 2 Spell Bombs and 2 Lanterns. Game 2, our hand's fine. Opponent goes turn 1 DRC. We draw a Mountain. We'll go turn 1 Mountain into a Pyrite Spell Bomb. Opponent plays Island and attacks in for 1. We top deck a Fable. We'll play Mountain, kill their DRC with their Spell Bomb, then cast out our Ragavan. And on our end step, they bolt it. Opponent goes Misty into Ledger Shredder. We draw a Ragavan, so we're going to play Blast Zone into a Fable. Oh, and in response, they fetch Shock and Spell Pierce us. Ugh, so good. Opponent plays tap Steam Vents, attacks in for 1. Find a Den, we'll dash out Rag, which they have a heat for, then go tap Den. Opponent attacks in for 1, misses a land. We find another Ragavan, we'll dash it out. They have a Bolt, killing it. Play up Blast Zone and pick up our Obosh. Opponent attacks in for another 1, and again, no land. We find a Ruins, we'll activate Den and attack in. Ooh, an opponent uses Ottawar to bounce it back to our hand. We'll play that as our land for turn. An opponent slams a Murktide onto the battlefield and attacks in for another land for the home team. We'll slam our Obosh. Oh, and that meets a counter spell. All right, opponent has us here. Let's get into game 3. Game 3, our hand's a little risky, but we're gonna keep. Go turn 1 tap Cave. Opponent goes turn 1 Canal into a Rag. We find a Lantern. We'll just play out our Ramunap and stomp the Ragavan. Opponent plays Island into a Shredder. Then casts out a Bobble, conniving with Shredder, carding a Heat. No land for us. We'll play out Lantern, exiling Bobble from the yard, and then we'll crack our Lantern, finding a Bolt. Opponent casts an EI, pretty good one. Exiling a Canal, playing that out as their land, attacking in for 2. Again, no land. So we'll play out our Spell Bomb and crack it, trying to find a land. We do finally find a Mountain. Opponent plays a Misty and attacks in for 2. Another land for us. So pretty sure this is gonna get countered, but let's play out our Fable. Somehow it resolves, we'll play Mountain, passing. And on our end step, they bolt our 2/2. Opponent casts out a DRC and plays the Island. They attack in for 2, we're down to 14. And on their end step, we bolt down their DRC. We draw a Bone Crusher for turn. We'll loot away Bone Crusher and our Ragavan, finding Blast Zone Fable. We'll play Blast Zone into Relic. And their upkeep, we pop the Relic, drawing into a Bolt. They play Misty and attack in for 2. And on the end step, we'll pump up our Blast Zone. Find another zone for turn. We flip our Fable, then play our Blast Zone, holding up Bolt and cracking Blast Zone. Sadly, on our end step, they do kill our Fable. We go to combat. We'll pop our Blast Zone, killing Ledger Shredder. Opponent does nothing. We find a Den. We play out our Fable, which resolves into a Den, holding up Bolt. And on our end step, they bolt our 2/2. Opponent casts out a 5/5 Murktide into a DRC. We draw a Fable. We'll trigger Fable, looting away our Fable and a Seasoned Pyromancer, drawing land and Flame Slash. We'll play out our land, cast our Flame Slash on the Murktide, then play out our Seasoned Pyromancer to try and bait out a counterspell. And in response to the trigger, we will bolt the Murktide. Ooh, and they have a Spell Pierce. We do have 2 mana, so we will pay. And Murktide falls, and then we draw 2, finding 2 lands. On top decks in the eye, exiling a Scalding Tarn, and attacks us down to 9. Another land for us. We'll play out our Ruins, cast out our Bone Crusher, attacking for 2. Plays a tap Steam Vents, and before combat, we will blow up Blast Zone, killing the DRC. Nothing again. We draw a Spikefield Hazard, we play land, we copy our Spyro, discarding 2 cards, then we will stomp the opponent, and they cast a Subtlety in response, which does nothing to our stomp, and they scoop it up there. Let's get into match number 5. Match 5, we're on the draw. Hand's a little risky, but opponent goes turn 1 Coast into a Ginger. We draw a Fury, play Mountain, holding up Hazard. Opponent plays Saga into Stoneforge, picking up a Cauldron complete, and they attack us down to 18. Spyro's a good draw, but we will evoke out Fury, killing their Stoneforge Mystic and their Ginger Brute, then play out a tapped Cave. Ooh, they play out another Saga into an Ornithopter. Oh my, our prayers have been answered! Holy Blood Moon. Alright, we're slamming it. Please no Spell Pierce. Oh, in response, they make a Contract. GG. Holy. Alright, next. They lose everything. They play out a Springleaf Drum into a Sentinel. They attack us down to 14. We top deck a Relic. We will evoke out Fury, pitching Fable, and then deal 1 to Sentinel and 3 to the Construct. Then we'll play out Relic, play our Legendary land for turn, and then cast out a Spyro. And opponent scoops them up. Let's get on to sideboarding. We're going to take out Blood Moon, Bone Crusher Giants, and Relics for Shattering Spree, Magus, and Pyrite Spell Bombs. Our starting hand looks good, but it also has a Relic. Oh, so I forgot to sideboard correctly. Alright, hand's good anyways. Opponent goes turn 1 Fountain into an Aid. We draw a Spyro, we'll go land into Relic. Opponent goes Fountain into a Pure Steel. Draw another Spyro. We'll play Sokinzon into stomping the Pure Steel. Opponent plays a Nexus. We play out Blast Zone. Opponent plays Saga, animates Inkmoth, and attacks in. And they go for a Hammer. In response, we'll crack our Relic, finding a Blood Moon, so we have to go for the Spikefield Hazard. And that resolves, surprisingly. And we top deck a Ragavan, but it's Blood Moon time. Opponent finds a Plains, we find a Relic. We'll cast out our Seasoned Pyromancer, discarding Relic and Ragavan, then play out Mountain, and play out a Relic. And opponent scoops him up. Easy 5-0. This deck just continues to impress. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.